we got to talk about Aster. And Aster is doing crazy numbers right now. And look, I did a good prediction yesterday and it pumped a lot. So now I'm going to make another prediction. That's what we're going to talk about. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice. Let's get straight into it. So, first things first, I kind of want to go over a few things before we talk about the price action here. We are 33.1% up in the last 24 hours. 2.5 billion inside of market cap, 2.3 billion in trading volume, and 12 billion in fully diluted value at $1.57. Yesterday, when I made the video, as you can see here, Aster was at $1.20, right? And I was like, hey guys, this thing's about to continue to take off. Like, it was taking off. I'm like, hey, it's going to continue to take off. For one, look at the MACD right here on the video from yesterday. The MACD was super bullish, super bullish. It had more room to go, right? And I kind of want to show you guys what that looks like on the MACD. So if you look at this, we had it on a 30-minute chart, right? We had Aster on a 30-minute chart, and we were pretty much looking at it right around this point right here. We still had more buying pressure to go. It looked like it was about to fall off, but it did not do it, right? It was at a heavy resistance, looked like it was about to fall off. It pulled back a little bit. I was mentioning, hey, this thing could pull back a little bit. It did, and then it kept going from there. And then as you can see here, the MACD continued with all that buying pressure. So yeah, yesterday was a good call on Aster. Now, I think this thing is going to continue to run. So I think this is going to be a very, very good play. It's on BNB, and that is also very bullish because everything on BNB is going crazy. It's easily becoming one of the largest DeFi exchanges on BNB, right? This thing is absolutely crazy right now. One of the best things for perpetuals trading on BNB. So much volume on BNB. It's just crazy. All right. So let's talk about what we will end up seeing here very soon for Aster. So right now we are seeing good price action, right? And we pulled back. We had a pretty big pullback. It wasn't too bad, but it was still a pullback that probably shook some people out, right? People are probably like, oh no, it's dumping now. And now we're kind of seeing that we are leveled out at a support here. We've hit a little bit of a support at, let me move it down a little bit. This needs to be a little bit lower, right at that candlestick. All right. So yeah, we're pretty much seeing a support at $1.50 with Aster. There is a possibility that we can have more selling pressure, and I'll show you why. On the MACD is a lot of selling pressure. Let's just say that a lot of selling pressure is happening. The lightly shaded red candlesticks indicate the buyers coming in. So buyers are there. The buying is there, but the selling pressure is still more prominent at this point. That's a lot of selling pressure. And as you can see, it went straight down on the MACD. But the second it does that reversal, the second more buyers are there than sellers, it's going to start pumping. Right now, we have a strong base. We have a strong support. So it could happen. But if we don't take off now, then we can expect about $1.23. That is the support down here. That's what we can expect if it doesn't take off. But if we start to see more buying pressure coming in, we are in for a good ride, and I will show you why. Look at the 15-minute chart here. On the 15-minute chart, you can see the selling is slowing down on the 15-minute chart. It's also slowing down a little bit on the 30-minute, but it's a lot of slowing down on a 15-minute. And then you can see the buyers just keep stepping in. Look at this. Lots of selling, buyers step in. Lots of selling here, buyers stepping in this whole area. Lots of selling, buyers step in. Less selling, buyers are still stepping in at a higher rate than the selling. So this is indicating that we should have another rally inside of Aster. Then when you look at the percent R trend exhaustion, the long-term trend is trending downwards. So that's why I say tread lightly, be careful. It could continue to dump to $1.23. But the short-term trend on the percent R trend exhaustion is pretty much overexhausted, oversold. But the long-term trend kind of has to meet the short-term trend. Now look, it could stop halfway like it did here, right? Stopped halfway, and then short-term trend started going up, so did the long-term. Same thing here. So the same thing could happen again. So you do want to be aware of that. So what I'm looking at here, though, I'm like, this thing could continue to sell off, but the MACD is looking a little bit bullish still. 5-minute chart shows that we hit a solid base, solid foundation, solid support. and it's looking like it could recover from there. So I think this could be a really good thing. Every single time Aster has hit this level in the past, it has rose, and it doesn't have much past performance. I'll be honest there, but I do still think that this thing has a little bit more juice upwards. But there's always that possibility that we could pull back down on $1.23. So you don't want to go all in right now. This is pretty much me saying, hey, if you still have it, I wouldn't just go selling it now because you should have sold it up here, right? But I wouldn't just go selling it now. We had so many signals being thrown up saying, hey, get out. But, some people didn't pay attention to those signals and they didn't end up getting out. So that's pretty much what happened there. And you can see it here on the percent R trend exhaustion. The trend was overbought and overexhausted. And you can see here when we get that red bar, the red down arrow, that means sell. When we get the blue bar with a blue up arrow, that means buy. We haven't gotten that yet. So we haven't really gotten a buy signal yet. But it doesn't always happen that way. Sometimes, we don't get either signal. So you also have to remember that. And sometimes we get false signals. Like we had a buy signal here recently on the 5-minute chart, which for the 5-minute chart, that's short term. So yes, it was a good signal. It was a good buy signal for the 5-minute because it's such a short term chart. But you do want to be careful. So all in all, I think Aster still has some move to the upside. It can still push, but you need to be extremely, extremely careful. When things start getting overbought like this, you definitely need to be careful. But look, we went back down to the support. We hit above the resistance, went back down to support, created a new resistance, almost did $2, and then went back down to the support. The selling pressure is, like I said, it's still coming. It's still coming. And so be careful. This thing could easily start picking up again with more selling pressure. But the buyers are here. The buyers are here. The volume is there. This is a waiting game at this point. If you haven't sold yet, I wouldn't just go ahead and do it yet. But there is a possibility that it drops. So just know if it drops, you have the possibility of losing some money, but you only really lose when you sell. But yeah, if this thing drops to $1.23, you're losing 20%. But risk to reward ratio, if this thing breaks past, even if it just gets back to the previous all-time high of 29%, if it breaks past it and gets to $2.34 at the new, $2.35 at the new resistance Fibonacci, now you're looking at 50%. So you can possibly lose 20%, or you could possibly make 50%. The risk reward ratio is there. But remember, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice. Not telling you to buy, not telling you to sell. Just kind of putting the information out there of how the charts are moving and how it's looking to me. So anyways, this is all I got. Hit the like button, subscribe, all that good stuff. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor. This is financial advice. That's all. All is well. Leave comments in the comment section. Let me know what you guys think about this, all that good stuff. And as always, I'll be back with another video.